Hello, hello, hello. This is South African Roots, and I am starting a new series. This series is going to be about trends to avoid. I'm seeing some trends just kind of take off and take over entire countries. They are all just when your mom used to say, if your friend jumps in the fire, are you going to jump in the fire? Everyone's jumping in the fire, and I just feel like some of it is not rational, some of it doesn't make sense, and I am going to say these are trends to avoid. These are trends to not touch with a 10-foot pole, because it is things that should be common sense that just does not seem to be penetrating people's minds. And I don't know why we are all moving in this direction where everyone feels like everything needs to be hip and everything needs to be cool and everything needs to not make sense. And there are a handful of trends that are like this, and I thought I would do an entire series of short little things that I think we need to, as a country, as South Africa, just avoid. Just not get sucked into the vortex of pop culture and what other people think makes sense when it doesn't make sense. So this first video is going to be about the LGBTQ LMNOPQRSTUV. I think you guys know what I'm on about. If you do not, it is a big movement. You should know about it. So I'm not saying the LGBTQ is a problem. I'll even say I don't think the T is a problem. We have long had lesbian, we have long had gay, we have long had bi, and we have long had queer. No problem. Trans, I don't think it's a problem. If you're an adult and you're deciding that you want to be transgender, no problem. I have no issue with that. But for some reason, people have now linked wanting to be trans and ensuring that all children are trans into this same category. And it is just not making sense. It just does not make sense. Why are these people pushing this ideology onto the children? I just do not understand. And all of the countries are doing it. The first world countries that should be the most educated countries, that should actually have a little bit of a lick of sense, are diving like head first into this little pool of stupidity where they are sacrificing their children's best interests to be pop cultured, to be in mainstream media, to be in sort of trending. It is so mind-boggling to me. And this is not me saying that there should not be trans people. This is not me saying that there should not be individuals that choose to change their gender. But if we are not allowing our children to drink alcohol before the age of 18, 21, why are we giving them drugs to change their sex? Why are we giving them drugs to change this? Why are we giving them operations to change their entire gender? And here is the central of my problem with this. If you ask any teacher or long-term person who works with children, so let's say teacher, let's say child psychologist, when a child comes to them, why are they acting up? Why are they behaving the way they're behaving? Why are they upset children? 9 out of 10 times that person that deals with children is going to say, if they're honest, they're going to say, this is not the child behaving this way. This is the parents' attitude. This is the parents' ideas. This is the parents that are infecting this child with these things that are showing up through the child's behavior. A secure, happy little individual is not going to be worried about gender at the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They don't even think about that stuff. But the fact that the first world countries are almost making it like every child thinks about that, no, they are making their children think about that. The parents are making, and I will go so far as to say, why do we not actually get therapists involved? When a child comes out and says, I want to be transgender, why is the first thing we jump at is changing their sex and changing them to put them on hormone replacements and jumping headfirst into this entire little debacle? Why are we not getting therapists involved to find out what is going on in those home environments? Why are these kids not feeling like the little rock stars that they are? Why are they not super confident in their bodies? Why are they not happy just the way they are? Why are we teaching them that they have to change? And this is fine. This is the thing. This is fine if you're 18 and you decide, actually, you know what, I've always felt this way. That is a different thing. You are an adult. That's fine. But parents making these ideas for these children, pushing these ideas onto their kids, it just boggles my mind. And now so many governments are just like, well, this is a jolly good idea, let's all do this, and everybody's following the trend. And I'm just thinking to myself, you know what, is that what these kids need? Is that what they need? Do they need somebody to stand up and say, actually, maybe these kids need therapy, maybe they need help, maybe this is a disorder? Would you give a schizophrenic a loaded gun? Then why are we giving children drugs? Why are we giving somebody with a dysmorphia? Why are we giving somebody with a problem, a medical mental problem, even though people are making it sound like a trend? It is not a trend, it is a medical mental problem. Why are we giving them drugs? Why are we giving them surgeons? If we wouldn't do it to other mental, it's like giving a bipolar person a blade and saying, sit with yourself in a corner and let's see what happens. Why would you do that? As a responsible government that cares about your citizens, in inverted brackets, cares about your citizens, you're just following a trend. These kids are sometimes not even in this direction. I'm not saying they all aren't. Of course, some of them may grow up, but there was never this amount of people that wanted to grow up and do this. And this trend is creating such a problem in terms of not just this. But I think the reason I say LMNOPQRSTU is because every single alternative thought that is not actually okay is being grouped into this, because you didn't just stop at T. Now it goes on to pedophilia. Wow, how exciting. Let's promote that. Hell no. Oh hell no, that should not be promoted. What about that thing where people sleep with animals? Now that's in there too. Why are all of these things that are actually illegal? Now it's a whole freaking mockery of everything. You guys have taken it so far, and the people that are being harmed are not the LGBTQ. It is the children. It is the children. You're making victims of your own kids in this system. And I don't know how people are just like kumbayaing and singing and praising it. It makes no sense. This is me not saying you can't be lesbian. This is me not saying you can't be gay. This is me not saying you can't be bi. This is me not saying as an adult you cannot be trans. However, why are children, why are animals getting involved in this? Why is this spreading? Well, I know why. It's distraction. It's a deterrent. We're all focusing on these little trends, which is this entire series. We all focus on these little trends that are going around, that are in pop culture, that are really, really sort of the main focus, instead of focusing on the country's actual problems. It's all a deterrent. In every single country, we're all for it. It is just a distraction so that you don't think to yourself, hey, how's the education system doing? Hey, how's the medical system doing? Hey, what's happening with governmental infrastructure? What's happening with our funding? Where's all of that going? No, it's all going to freaking t-shirts. We really are a stupid society and easily distracted in this modern day and age. And I know that a lot of us are not falling for it, but the fact that a good percentage of us are, it is so very frustrating. And the only people I feel sorry for are the children that are being taken advantage of and just being taken for a ride. But you know, that's not what's important in the LGBTQ PMNOQRST. That's not what that's all about. That's not about the kids. That's about, you know, everyone else's best interest, except for the people who can actually stand up and talk for themselves. Children cannot stand up and talk for themselves. They need the government to be helping them. Their parents are apparently not even standing up and talking for them. They don't have their best interests at heart. If you think that every parent has their kid's best interest at heart, you are not opening your eyes and looking at what's happening around you. The government should be standing up for the children. The citizens should be standing up for the children. But everyone's just taking advantage. And it's a joke. It's a joke. And the women, obviously the women are going to be negatively affected, but nobody is willing to admit that. Because if you don't know about the sporting thing, you've been living under a rock. But once again, that's not what LGBTQ is about. You know, that's not what the intention is, but that's exactly what it's doing. That's exactly what it's doing. So that might not be the intent, but why is it fair? And why is it right? And why do these people, this is the trend, why do these people have more rights They are not right. They have to be more right. They have to have more rights than their general populace. They have to trend. They have to be on point. They have to be on fleek. This is a problem. You are making people's values higher than their general community. That is not what a government does. Nobody is above nobody. Nobody's rights are more rights, and nobody needs their rights protected more than the children. Adults can speak for themselves. Adults can make their own decisions. Children cannot. And that's all I'm going to say about it. And there's going to be a few topics I'm bringing up in this that people are not going to be happy about, but I need to get it off my chest. And I think if common sense prevails, I think a lot of people are feeling these ways, but they just don't know how to say it. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's the right opinion to have. Thanks for watching.